Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Your Brain on Air. I am your host, Ollie Vogt Larson. And how big are you into online betting? Do you do DraftKings? Do you FanDuel? Do you Polymarket? God, I hope you don't. Because listen, a lot of these apps, they're designed to make people think that they're the Rain Man types, the people who can watch toothpicks fall on the ground, be like 82, 82, 82, 430 something toothpicks fell on the ground. And you're not that. A lot of people, unfortunately, are not that. These people are not like game designers in their head. They're not the people that if the coach just handed them the clipboard, the whole game would have gone their way. No one is that, unfortunately, and most of these apps are designed to make you feel this way. And listen, I really hope that you are not too attached to Polymarket because I'm about to reveal a truth bomb on y'all. Listen, Israel created Polymarket. It's a CIA Mossad psyop. July 2003, let me take you back. Admiral John Poindexter's Information Awareness Office at, wait for it, DARPA unveiled a highly secretive project called the PAM, the Policy Analysis Market. It was developed by a man named Robin Hansen, who was a Caltech researcher at the time. PAM was supposed to be, quote, a market in the future of the Middle East that would have allowed trading of future contracts based on possible political developments in the Middle East. This includes terror attacks. Listen, after public backlash, naturally the Pentagon announced that they would agree to cancel the program just a few months before its planned launch. And listen, a lot of people don't know about Shane Copeland, the person who founded Polymarket. He did not just create a billion-dollar business from inside of a bathroom like many of his articles claim he did. It was proven that he had been in direct communication with Robin Hansen, the principal systems architect of DARPA's failed future terrorism market. Listen. Further in Shane Copeland's past, he was shown to have started a company called Token Union, and seemingly it has been erased from every current narrative about this guy, seemingly due to Token Union's tie to Bancor, a decentralized finance protocol that's allowed to call itself a bank, and Bancor was founded by Guy and Galia Ben Artzi, the nephew and niece of longtime Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Actually, before founding Bancor, Galia was a venture partner of Peter Thiel's Founders Fund and helped lead the firm's investments in Israel. Next to Netanyahu's niece and nephew on Copeland's advisory board is also Lou Kerner, a prominent venture capitalist in the Israeli tech ecosystem. Listen, you want to watch your goy ball, you want to watch your football, you want to watch your soccer, do that. But when it comes to betting, I don't know that this is a defensible market. I'm not saying that we need to ban it. I'm saying, is it the most, useful way to spend a little bit of your extra money? I'm going to be honest with you. For a lot of these people, they're like, well, it's not that bad. I only do like a couple $100 on sports betting a month or some shit like that. That's not great. That's not good. You're the person who's buying scratch-off tickets. You're no better than the heroin addict who buys fucking those little lottery tickets and shit like that at the gas station. You're no better than these junkies. You believe that because it's in these limited doses, because you're just this, I don't do heroin all the time, I just do this, there's a testing flight. When my buddy gets a couple of bags of the nice brown H, this nice Chinese heroin one time, it was beautiful, it was white, it was nice and pure. My buddies, they just let me try heroin sometimes. So, I know it's not the greatest for you. I know that gambling has, bad effects for the human soul. It's not great if you especially don't have good control over how much money you spend and whatnot. But a lot of people, they lose track, especially if it's on their phone. They feel like it's nothing. They feel like it's tokens. They're like, yeah, I can bet a couple $100 on sports. What the fuck are you doing, you goy? What is wrong with you? Like, I know that you understand, you think that this is an age-old tradition. You understand that, you don't get it. You're just unfamiliar with bookies. You're unfamiliar with, betting on fucking sports. You're unfamiliar with people faking knee injuries in order to win those bets. It's a dirty market. It's gross, and and listen, I know that it's fun for you. I don't know what fun is in your world, in all honesty, because by the way, the same people that find these sorts of sports bettings and whatnot to be fun, they're the same people that don't have books on their shelves. They're the same people that don't invest themselves in knowledge beyond their slice of history that they were born into. These are the people that are just like the most dullards among us, like really dullards, people who have no interests beyond the temporary vision of history they've been given. It's sad, it's pathetic, and unfortunately a lot of these people, they're caught up in it. It's like, you know what I mean? The people who talk about, I remember this guy's career back when I was in high school or whatever, I'm like, you have spent the last however many years reminiscing, going over people's point scoring records. You're going over, what is your entirety of your personality has been formulated around obsessing over other men's physical excellence while your own has physically decayed. You're a goy. You're a goyim. A lot of these men and women, by the way, I'm not saying some women, but mostly men who invest themselves into sports betting, they're goyim. They are literally the cattle. They are the cattle that is being herded by the Israeli individuals who are the heads of all of these major companies. If you don't believe it, go look at who sits on the boards. Go look at who is fucking Bibi Netanyahu's niece and nephew. Go look into these things for yourself, and you'll be shocked at who is happy that you're throwing away for a $40 every other Saturday. You are the product. I don't know how long it takes people to get this. They are the product. All right. I gotta stop. I gotta settle down. Otherwise, I'm going to get angry. I'm going to get too angry that people really do waste their money on this. And listen, most of the time, these people lose. Like, the majority of the time, it's, like, rare that, my buddy, he got Polymarket. It's, like, once every other couple months that this guy actually wins anything. The majority of the time, these people are just kind of cracking even. The majority of these time, these people aren't walking away from the tables, cashing out at the casino, winning thousands of dollars. These people are, like, losers. These people are they do nothing with their money. They spend it in little tiny sources that are like, oh, well, that was a quick dopamine rush. Better go fucking to have another cigarette. Better go swig another beer. Give me something else for my brain to send me some pleasure signals. I need something to make me feel. I need feelings. I need to feel something because my life is pointless and meaningless. And I pursue nothing. Except for the excellence of other individuals at the expense of my own wallet. Ugh, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to say that every individual who bets sports betting is like this, but it's the culture that has been formulated. People who are willing to lose houses over these sorts of things. The degenerates, they're filthy. They're the grossest among us. They're the people who are uncontrolled. And you know what? They're demons. It's okay. It's not their fault. They're possessed by something grander than themselves they don't understand. It's okay. It's unfortunate. That's how gambling seeps into a lot of people's their deeper inner psyche. It hits them after a while. They go to the casino a couple times, then maybe they win once or twice, and then that formulates an addiction they're going to carry with them for the rest of their lives while they continue to be drained every other paycheck. It's pathetic, it's loserish, but it's what are we going to do? What are we going to do? We can't do anything for them. You have to make the choice. You have to make the choice to not be a retard for anybody to stop feeling bad for you. I unfortunately can't feel bad for you if you continue to act like a retard. Ladies and gentlemen, speaking of people acting like retards, the United States is continuing to strike Iran for the 6th consecutive night. Listen, the air campaign is targeting the country's transportation, the maritime infrastructure. The U.S. Central Command confirmed the latest wave of strikes concluded at dawn on Friday, aiming to further degrade Iranian military capabilities following the collapse of last month's tentative ceasefire. So, this is, it's centering obviously on the control of the Strait of Hormuz. The United States has reimposed a strict naval blockade, and we're fighting, and it's not going to go very well. Prices are going to surge. Overnight, American munitions struck key highway and railway bridges in southern Iran, specifically targeting the coastal city of Bandar Kamir. According to regional reports, the strikes appear designed to systematically isolate Bandar Abbas, Iran's primary commercial port, from the rest of the country. Not very fun. The air campaign also brought down a major surveillance tower at the Chabahar port on the Gulf of Oman, which Iranian officials state was used to monitor commercial shipping traffic. Well, that's great. We took out one of their spots where they can't watch us anymore. Thankfully, they don't have drones to watch us, you know what I mean, from the sky. Thankfully, the economic impact of the escalating warfare is prompting immediate action within Iran. Following the latest strikes, Iran's energy ministry acknowledged damage to its power infrastructure for the first time, wow, issuing an urgent plea for citizens in the southern provinces to begin conserving electricity amid the extreme summer heat. Meanwhile, regional airlines have begun preemptively canceling or rerouting flights entirely across the Middle East as the airspace is growing increasingly hazardous. Tehran has responded with rapid military retaliation across the Persian Gulf, launching barrages of drones and ballistic missiles at neighboring nations that host United States forces. Air defense sirens are are sounding twice in Qatar as interceptors targeted incoming fire, while similar strikes were reported in Bahrain, Kuwait, and the Kurdish region of northern Iraq. Command leadership for the Iran's Revolutionary Guard warned today that the retaliatory operations will continue until the United States halts all attacks on southern Lebanon's, Lebanon. The fuck am I saying? I'm thinking about Israel too much. The southern Iranian coastline and all vital shipping lanes. Blah, 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 blah. You gotta forgive me. I'm balancing 10 other stories here. I don't get paid fucking big bucks. You know what I mean? I'm not a news reporter. I don't get paid news reporter like dimes, so I don't have to pronounce it as perfectly. They fuck it up all the time, so I have every excuse. Can you just fucking talk louder?
For a sixth consecutive night, U.S. Central Command says these strikes involved fighter jets, drones, warships, and hit dozens of military targets. Iranian media is reporting the latest round of U.S. attacks hit infrastructure, including bridges, a train station, and an airport. Iran has again fired off retaliatory attacks against U.S. Gulf allies, and for the first time during this conflict, it claims to have targeted a U.S. military facility in Syria. Updates on all of this, CBS News Middle East contributor Courtney Keeley joins us. Good morning, Courtney. What do you make of this latest exchange of strikes, and is there a risk now of expansion?
Yes, very much so. So these airstrikes in Syria were apparently directed at a former special forces base. Iran thinks it's still active. The Syrians say the U.S. special forces withdrew, but that's a new target. The U.S. bombing bridges. Now we're getting to the infrastructure that President Trump has said will happen. That can cause an escalation. And then also you have the Houthis in Yemen. Now a source close to CBS News told us that Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps did confirm that they have been kind of put on standby. They haven't been told to close their strait, the Bab el-Mandeb, which would close off access to the Red Sea, but they could. And that's a big worry. And
this is something you had mentioned this week on the Yemen Houthi question. That opens up another potential blockage as far as waterways.
I think that it would suck if the Houthis were activated, because everybody then, Strait of Hormuz, it's very easy enough. I remember it by saying Strait of Hormuz, but Bab al-Mandab, the Strait of Bab al-Mandab, and it's not even that, it's Bab al-Mandab Strait. That's going to be tough for like a lot of people.
What about what's happening in Israel? The U.S. and Israel entered this war shoulder to shoulder. They appear to be on different pages lately, and the country's parliament dissolved overnight ahead of elections in October. So what's happening with Benjamin Netanyahu and his position?
His coalition lost the majority. Knesset has been dissolved. Knesset is in recess until after the elections. The elections are heating up. Gadi Eisenkot, a former IDF chief who left Trump's wartime cabinet, who lost a son in Gaza, he is the front runner, neck and neck with Netanyahu in terms of seats.
We covered this as our last story of yesterday. Yes, the Israeli government currently is collapsing underneath Netanyahu's feet. And where really that is not my major concern right here. My major concern is that we might have another strait that people have to deal with. You know, and nobody wanted to learn about the Strait of Hormuz. No one cared about it. No one wanted to learn about, the canal crisis, I'm sure, in Britain when that was happening. But the Bab el-Mandeb situation is going to be unfolding soon. If you don't know where that is, it's between Yemen on the Arabian Peninsula and Djibouti and Eritrea in Africa, and it's between the Gulf of Aden and the extension into the Indian Ocean. That's their way into the Red Sea, which then you can move all the way up through into the Mediterranean Sea if you find the right channel. Listen, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough because for sure that's going to be heading down next. They're going to be taking that out. The Houthis will be activated. And I look forward to that Bab al-Mandeb Strait being a name that everybody has to learn here in a few days. But, so you know what was another thing we all had to learn about pretty quickly? Cyclospora. And we all learned that pretty quickly. Lake Calhoun is now officially renamed the B'day Makaska. It's like the Dakota name or something. It translates to White Earth Lake, which is weird because it's not even on the White White Earth Reservation, I should know. I've never. Lake Calhoun's down by the cities, and it was reverted to the original indigenous title because, the former Vice President John C. Calhoun was a prominent proponent of slavery, all this sort of stuff, and, obviously the most performative people in Minneapolis started crossing out Lake Calhoun and putting Bde-Maka-Ska. I'm not even against the name change. It's just funny how much people think it really means. It doesn't mean anything. The fact that we the native communities have learned to call it that. They even learned your dumb little white person name Calhoun. They figured that out for however many years that it was called that, and then now you're just being forced to call it the Bde-Maka-Ska. That's fine. You're fine. You're not going to be challenged. You're not going to be. This is not the end of the world for anybody. You know what is the end of the world for Cyclospora? We may have traced down where it's coming from. Federal health investigators have traced the source of the massive multi-state stomach parasite outbreak that has sickened thousands of people across the country. According to the joint advisory from the Food and Drug Administration and the Centers for Disease Control, the primary culprit is shredded iceberg lettuce imported from Mexico. Those damn Mexicans. We gotta shut down the border. The contaminated greens were distributed to Taco Bell locations across 5 states, including Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, and West Virginia. The fast food giant has confirmed that it is cooperating fully with the investigation and has already removed all lettuce from the identified supplier, reportedly Taylor Farms, from its supply chain nationwide. The outbreak, caused by Cyclospora, a resilient microscopic parasite that is typically spread through water or soil contaminated with human feces. This is different. The parasite is highly resistant to standard chemical sanitizers, chlorine washes, all that shit they normally use to treat it. Federal investigators are focusing their traceback efforts on the farm level in Mexico to determine how the contamination occurred. Health officials have confirmed over 1,600 cases linked directly to Taco Bell. State-level data suggests the true scale of the outbreak is much larger, approaching 7,000 cases total. Michigan has emerged as the nation's epicenter, reporting over 3,000 illnesses alone. Because the parasite can take up to 2 weeks to trigger symptoms, which includes, obviously, we've covered it, severe watery diarrhea, stomach cramps, and extreme fatigue, health departments expect the counts to continue to climb through into August as more testing is completed. And as a precaution, the FDA is recommending that consumers in the 5 states affected avoid eating shredded iceberg lettuce from Taco Bell. From the home cook angle, health officials advise buying whole heads of lettuce instead of pre-washed bagged salad mixes. I don't know who's actually buying those, because let's be honest, there's no people who are pretending to be that health conscious. You know what I mean? You want to make a salad, you buy an actual head of lettuce. You goon. Who's doing that? Discarding the outer leaves, obviously, entirely, probably the first 2 or 3 layers, if we're being honest. Thoroughly rinse the rest under clean water. Anyone experiencing the prolonged gastrointestinal issues is urged to call a doctor and specifically request a Cyclospora test. The standard stomach bug treatments are ineffective against this parasite. So if you don't want it to last for weeks, that's key here. Unless, of course, you feel like suffering with it.
We have news on that parasite tonight, the one sickening people across 34 states. The Washington Post is reporting CDC investigators believe the likely source is Taylor Farms, a California fresh food supplier that provides lettuce to Taco Bell, as well as packaged lettuce to major retailers, among them Walmart, Target, and Whole Foods. For CBS News, senior national correspondent Mark Strassman.
Health investigators may have finally solved the mystery of why so many people have fallen so ill eating contaminated lettuce. The Washington Post reports that federal officials have now potentially linked the outbreak of a parasite called Cyclospora to Taylor Farms, a California produce distributor. The company supplies salad products to numerous grocery stores and fast food restaurants, including Taco Bell. Thousands of cases have been reported in 34 states, the majority in Michigan, the vast majority over the last few weeks. The disease causes severe gastrointestinal illness. While no one has died, more than 100 people have been hospitalized. Whew. Taco Bell had already, as a precaution, removed salad ingredients from some of its restaurants. One Michigan health official told CBS News that normally it would see 40 cases of cyclopsoriasis, but in this outbreak, they have handled more than 4,000 cases.
Woo!
Remember, for now, this is a potential link with Taylor Farms in California. We reached out to them. So far, no response. But this is the first real sign of tracking down what has worried and sickened so many consumers. Tony?
All right, Mark, we'll stay on it. Thank you.
All right, Mark, we're going to stay on it. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, stay away from the iceberg lettuce. This is a great time. Listen, if you've already ingested the Taco Bell lettuce, honestly, a lot of people don't think this would work, and it probably wouldn't. I'm not a doctor. Don't take my advice. But if you're already a drinky, like if you throw back a couple whiskeys however many times a week, you are the type where I don't know if this thing's going to be like, it's going to be like expecting, food, ordinary, like maybe beef or just like the usual shit that humans eat. It expects that, and once you drench this shit in just processed food like Mountain Dew, the stereotypical American diet, I don't know if it's going to be able to survive. It's going to melt like the T-1000. It's I'm going to be honest with you. It's going to be scary and it's going to be terrifying, but it's fun because you, in a way, are practicing medicine there. That's really, medicine is just whatever heals, and if it kills a parasite within you to drink an entire bottle of 2 gingers, that might do it. That might do it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just cover it. Why not? The rapid fire section of today's headlines. The Minneapolis City Council voted down a pilot program that would have allowed the Minneapolis Police Department to test a drone as a first responder. Now listen, we've covered this in the past before. Jacob Fry, the Minneapolis mayor, he was in favor of this. He was like, maybe this is a great idea. People are so concerned about our response times. We don't need police to actually improve their response times. We need a drone to show up first. I know that I did the Nintendo Switch noise, but I'm just like, we need a drone to show up, because what is a drone going to do for the girl getting raped in her apartment? Nothing. It's going to sit and watch, maybe take a video that we can use to maybe persecute him or some shit. But otherwise, we don't actually need first responders showing up.
The Minneapolis City Council voted down a proposal today that would have allowed MPD to use drones as first responders in North Minneapolis.
Good.
As part of a 75-day pilot program. MPD, Mayor Fry, and some on the council had pushed for this pilot program that would have put the drone in the 4th precinct at a fire station with the ability to be dispatched to certain 911 calls, providing imagery before officers were needed on the ground. The mayor and others felt that this was an innovative public safety solution that the city deserved to test out. However, critics on the council raised data privacy concerns, say they don't trust MPD to use this type of technology, and also raised concerns about this company, the drone company, Skydio's ties to Immigrations and Customs Enforcement and contracts with the Israeli military. It voted down in a 6-6 tie, meaning it won't move forward for now, and this technology won't be used.
Good. You know what? I'm just gonna ask, who does it help? In a way, how does it help you as the person who maybe has called the police because your autistic son is beating you up and is probably gonna kill you? Would you rather a drone show up and sit outside your window going, you know how they got the little things in order to keep them in the sky, keep them stationary? Would you rather a drone fly overhead while your autistic son beats your head in with a fucking, I don't know, like a bottle of Dewar's? Like he doesn't like when you drink, because when you drink you get mean time, and then he beats your skull in, and then what are you gonna do? The drone is just recording this live leak footage of you getting beaten to death. Like, why? How is this gonna help anybody? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to see that this was turned down, but Jacob Fry, that city will not be free until somebody has helped us and rid us of him by getting a solid candidate. There's no other solid candidates, unfortunately, in his entire party. Nobody in Minnesota right now is willing to stand up and say, I'm going to be the mayor of Minneapolis. I'm going to save this community. You know what I mean? We've had a tough go of it. We've had a couple Congress people get shot. Hey, when do you not have that happen? You know what I mean? It's just something you deal with when you have people who want... This is Pedro Pascal's favorite city in America. We got to live up to our reputation, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on to our next story. Older people, older Americans more specifically. Which age group is getting most divorced? That would be couples over the age of 50, most interestingly. Let's hear what they got to say.
According to a new study, adults over the age of 50 are the fastest growing age group getting divorced. They account for more than a third of all divorces. Couples counselors call this gray divorce, blaming life-changing events, feeling stagnant, or growing apart when children grow up.
We've worked 20, 30 years at jobs, and now we're both retired and we're both at home together, alone with one another, which we haven't done for 20 or 30 years. That can be a real shock to our system.
Experts suggest working on your marriage by recommitting to learning about one another, scheduling date nights, and working on your communication.
See, what really sucks is when you marry somebody and they just, like, their personality doesn't get any better, like, throughout the years. And some people do this. Some people, I'm not going to give away names. I had, like, an older couple in my life at one point where I watched them go through their lives. You know what I mean? They'd been together through thick and thin, however long they'd been together. I actually don't know when they met. That is how far back it went. But, like, you heard from people, like, back in the day when you were a kid, you were like, oh, they just been together forever and whatnot. But every moment that they were in the room together, they like glared. They had this absolute sense of distrust and anger with each other. They didn't have any children, you know, so thank God they didn't have to impose that down onto that next generation. But many of these people, they're flagrantly miserable. They refuse to be inner-looking whatsoever. You maybe take a little responsibility to the idea of maybe I just, like, am bad at choosing people. Maybe I chose somebody who's righteously boring and doesn't challenge me intellectually, and then they're forced to reevaluate. They're forced to go, like, well, all right, I'm 50-something, I'm still I have a mind, I still am able to get out there, you know what I mean? This is the Tom Segura effect. It's like, okay, I got a little bit of money now, I have a little bit of stability, the kids are out of the house, maybe we didn't even have kids, but like, we're older and we've been working for years and we have some savings, and, you know, I'm gonna lose some of that during the divorce, but whatever, it's gonna be worth it to get away from this bitch. And then that's a lot of these people's mentalities. They're like, I don't care. At a certain point, a lot of people, they're like, I don't care how much it's gonna hurt me, I don't care that she's really getting 2/3, it's not half. Women always say that we only get half during the divorce, it's 2/3 because another third goes to the lawyer. It's fact. If you don't know anything about divorce, I wouldn't accept, like, if you've never been married and never gotten a divorce, I'd understand if you don't know anything about it. But if you would also, like, have not taken the time to look into divorce laws, you just shouldn't be commenting about it in the first place. And anyways, let's just talk about, like, there's alimony that these people have to worry about. Their lives really get ruined. They get, and by the way, this can happen to women too. If you make more money than your husband, let's be honest, it's probably not happening for a lot of people. It's just the truth. It's unfortunate, but it's just the truth. So, let's be honest. Who is getting more righteously fucked out of this? Like, more often than not, it's the person who's going, yeah, I don't care. It's the person who's going, yeah, I understand that this is going to cause me a lot of harm in the temporary. I want to enjoy the 20, 30 years I have left on this earth with somebody who doesn't make me want to vomit when I come home. That's what a lot of these people, and so many, like your parents, your grandparents, you've seen these couples. You've seen these people that are absolutely repellent with one another, and they shouldn't be together, but they choose to. For what exactly? For themselves. It's a form of self-obsession because they're seeing the obsession in the other person's eyes. Do you get it? Where it's kind of like, I will be as disgusting as I want to you, but you will still at the end of the day come to cuddle with me at bed. And they like this interplaying. They like this back and forth where it's like we've gotten to a point of comfortability where we can just be nasty as we want towards one another, and then at the end of the day, we're still going to come back to the same bed. It's a weird comfort for a lot of these. It's Gen Xers, it's boomers, and a lot of people my generation do get into relationships like this. It's just true, it's verifiable, it's more of a human thing, but I've noticed that it's just more prominent, and obviously I would notice it because I watched more people of my parents' generation have relationships and whatnot, but I've just noticed that it's more of that. I assume it's going to show up just as bad in my generation when I get to know a lot more of my friends, and if I have friends who make particularly bad choices with their lives. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, my original point was that the weird, like, people, you look at relationships and you're like, why are they even still together? They actively dislike each other. For some people, that is the appeal. The appeal is I have somebody, that special somebody, who I can just show my ugly side to, who I can just call, you're a bitch, you're a dick, you're evil, and you make me hate this house. And it's that back and forth. It feels like home to them. Maybe they grew up watching their parents fight. Maybe they grew up with just this sense of drama and popping off all the time in their lives, but they get addicted to it. It bakes into their DNA. And you'll notice a lot of these people who had, like, parents who screamed at each other and whatnot, they actively become some of the most resentful, like, niggly little petty people that you'll ever meet, because it's a weird sense of comfort when they have have people screaming at each other. It's a weird sense of comfort when they have discomfort in their house. It's a weird, it's something where they don't realize they're choosing it. Their brain is creating the circumstances that actually put it at ease. It basically is saying, I can't have peace. I need a little bit of contemptuousness. I need a little bit of like cantankerous feelings in the household. Otherwise, I don't feel loved. Some people literally don't feel loved if that element of cantankerousness, of that element of like, oh, stepping on eggshells isn't there. They've grown up to understand that's what love feels like. It's anxious. It's, I don't want to say the wrong thing. It's, and if we say the wrong thing, we're just going to scream at each other. And we're going to get all of our negative feelings out in one another. And then we're going to, all right, you want to watch a movie later? And then they just go back to normal. They go completely back to normal, and it's a weird sense of comfort for a lot of these people. And you watch it unfold, whether or not it was your parents, whether or not it was your grandparents, your uncle, your a friend of your dad's, friend of your mom's, whatever. You watch these people, these couples that were just like, I hate you, and I try not to hide it at parties. And you go, what is appealing to them about that relationship? That's the appealing part. The appealing part is that they can be so repellent. You are my true love because you let me be my true self. Ladies and gentlemen, in a weird way, it's the most sweet and honest love that there ever will be or is. Let's talk about another unfortunate headline. This one's sad, but shows, honestly, another reason why you should be a little nervous about Western medicine. Listen, because a lot of these people like to pretend that doctors are any better nowadays. You know what I mean? Than, the types that would, like, knock you out. They were a barber, and they would also take out your teeth after they cut your hair. This is, like, honestly, they're still in the Middle Ages a lot of the times, unfortunately, with the medicine, what we know. A Fort Worth dentist is behind bars after police say a 4-year-old girl was given a lethal dose of sedatives during a routine procedure. So, if you don't know about tongue tying, it's essentially where the tongue tie procedure is, do you have a little flap of skin? Move your tongue in your mouth. If you have a little flap of skin that connects the bottom of your tongue to the top of your mouth, like not the top of your mouth, the bottom of your mouth, like the little, that liquidy section where there's like kind of tissue there. If there's a little piece of membrane that sticks your tongue to the bottom of your mouth, you have this tongue tie type thing. Some people, they have difficulty swallowing. If they talk for extended periods of time, clearly I don't struggle with that. But their mouths will get tired and whatnot. Sometimes they have trouble, just with throat issues and whatnot. And because their tongue is literally not able to move, it always falls to the bottom of their mouth, even if they're relaxing. And this girl, unfortunately, she had the exact condition. It's relatively, how common is tongue tie? God, I just want to know. It's relatively common. Approximately 4% to 11% of all newborns receive it or have it. It's a thin band of tissue connecting the underside of the tongue to the floor of the mouth, usually a short, thick, or tight one which restrains tongue mobility. Ugh. It's like you can see it exactly. You'll know it if you have it, and most people get it treated eventually. But this girl, she went in to get it treated. She went in to have the little, I believe they just cut the skin flap and they allowed the tongue to start moving more freely. But investigators are saying that Aitana, I'm going to try my best to pronounce her name, Aitana Arriga, was given multiple sedatives before becoming unresponsive at Cuddle Kids Dental Care. Cuddle Kids Dental Care, I'm instantly suspicious of something with a pedophile name like that. The Tarrant County medical examiner ruled her death was caused by a meperidine toxicity. I'm trying my best here, guys. Dr. Chriselle Hemphill. What is this name? She must be black. 48, has been charged with injury to a child causing serious bodily injury, and her dental license has been suspended. I would hope so.
What should have been a routine trip to the dentist became the day Aitana Rodriguez Arriaga died. 4-year-old Aitana went to Cuddle Kids Dental Care in Fort Worth for what investigators say was a routine tongue-tie procedure administered by the owner, Dr. Chris.
Oh, she's black. I called it.
Chriselle Hemphill.
Wait a minute. Chriselle? How do you pronounce it?
Dr. Chriselle Hemphill.
Chriselle Hemphill. I wasn't being racist. I was being smart.
According to the arrest warrant, Aitana was given 3 different sedation meds and became unresponsive. The warrant says Dr. Hemphill began CPR, but Aitana died at the hospital. The Tarrant County medical examiner later ruled Aitana's death was caused by meperidine toxicity. According to the arrest warrant, the medical examiner told investigators the amount of meperidine found in Itana's system would have been high for an adult. The medication was given to her twice, or double dose.
Oh my God.
Hill was arrested outside her dental office, facing a felony charge of injury to a child causing serious bodily injury.
Can we call it murder? Like, she killed her, unfortunately. Is it just because she's black and a woman she gets a fucking a slide in this modern era we live in? Like, if that's a male dentist, I'm throwing him under the jail just because she's she.
And Itana's parents couldn't speak on camera, but on a GoFundMe page they posted months ago, they described their daughter as filled with life and kindness, saying her presence always lit up a room and brought so much joy to everyone around
That's
her.
terrible. That is awful. And you know what I mean? Fort Worth, you know, you expect it in like these big cities where it's like, oh, are you even a doctor? No, my dad just knows you. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, you're a friend of my mom's. You know what I mean? She grew up with you or something. All right, fine, I'll get a dental procedure. Like where I got my wisdom teeth taken out, I swear to God, they like had like you know what, the chisel that like Michelangelo carved with? That's exactly what they used to take my wisdom teeth out at this one back alley place that my mom took me to. It was awesome. Don't get me wrong, they got him out pretty cleanly, but after I was sitting in the CVS parking lot because my mom was getting my meds, and I was just sitting going, oh fuck, my jaw just hurts, and the stitches never really closed right. Like I feel these pocket areas where my teeth like were at one point. I'm not even sure they got the right ones, if I'm being honest with you. I still keep them. They're like little teeth in a bottle. I have them around here somewhere, but I'll find them later. Maybe I'll post a picture of them on social media. Nantucket planning director was arrested with White Claws in her car. Me-core every summer. Nantucket, Massachusetts. Let me set the scene. The town planning director, Leslie Snell. I don't like that last name. Snell? Ugh, you gotta work on that, sweetie. She was arrested after allegedly crashing into a street sign while driving under the influence. Body cam footage released by the Yarmouth Police Department shows Leslie Snell appearing to struggle to perform sobriety tests before she is eventually put in handcuffs during the incident. Yikes. This is, you know, these types of videos are rough to have of yourself. If I'm ever like interacting with a cop and I know that it's not gonna, like if I'm ever pulled over and I know they're gonna smell it on me, they like it's too late, I can't hide the alcohol, I'm gonna do the old thing where I step outside, I put my keys on the ground, and I go, you got me, it's too late, I can't fight you anymore, I'm not doing the tests, I'm not doing any of that, but I'm submitting, you win, I promise, and then I'm gonna lay on the ground.
Okay, why don't you step out of the vehicle, okay?
Look at this bitch struggling out of her car. Please, please, please.
How much did you have to...
I don't think hoop earrings look very pretty. I think that a lot of women think that listen, it's not just women, it's also gay guys and like really fruity black guys like Lil Nas X. By the way, smash or pass, Lil Nas X, I'm just asking you. This woman, she has the hoop earrings, she's got this nice, it's hair, you know what I mean, it's there. And she's got this blue nice sweater, her nice Jeep. Let me read her license plate number here real quick. Damn it, I need to get a better view.
Yeah.
Focus on her license plate. There we go. There we go. Show me that fucking license plate so I can dox this woman. Okay, 4SFG 56.
Drink at Giardino's.
Just a couple of drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you got open containers all in your car.
Nice.
You just came from Giardino's. Okay.
She looks happy.
So why don't you just be honest with me? You've had more than a couple drinks, probably.
No.
No?
20-14.
Okay. Yep, just like that. Good. Oh.
Brother, you are stumbling.
Hey, are you saying your name was Leslie?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Is it Leslie?
Yes.
Yeah. Leslie, look at me for a second.
No.
Yes, you look at me for a second.
Oh, and arrested.
I got it.
I know you got it. She's so sweet. Guys, listen, did she really deserve it? Probably. She was endangering lives and she was drinking, but she was having fun. Guys, she was having fun? Whatever happened to having fun in this country? Whatever happened? Listen, I actually do agree that we should have never made drunk driving illegal. I think we should have made getting caught while drinking and driving illegal. And by getting caught, I mean, you know, if you're dumb enough to be swerving through the lines, if you're dumb enough to be doing any of that. But otherwise, if they just pull you over for speeding a little bit and you just happen to have like 6 or 7 beers in you, you know, you happen to have like half of a bottle of Tullamore Dew sitting in the passenger seat. I don't know. Like, you don't know that I drank that. I could have just had a shot on my way out. I could have just spent, you don't know when I drank it. You don't know how much I drank. You don't know anything. So I'm just going to ask you, actually, officer, I'm going to ask you to step out of the car. And then he's already out of the car, and then you've just fucked yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we should move on to our final headline. Dangerous wildfire smoke is blanketing 19 states. And, you know, it's triggering air quality alerts for millions of people. Not very fun. You know, forest fires are military weapons. This is, you know, it's scorched earth destruction. This is, if you don't believe me, go check out the formerly classified U.S. military document literally titled Forest Fire as a Military Weapon. It is, you know, it just kind of lays it out there. The United States Forest Service actually participated in the research and planning that went into this military instructional manual for carrying out orchestrated forest fire catastrophes. Listen. I don't know if this is trying to push forward the intervention in the climate affair. I don't know if this is trying to just preparation for forests for extreme or unprecedented incineration all over the world. That's exactly what these sort of manuals describe. It's bizarre when you think about like, oh, maybe this is the government just kind of deciding to blanket the country in a massive wave of toxic wildfire smoke. It's descending across the entire eastern half of the United States. It's air quality alerts for more than 100 million residents, 1 million, the fuck am I saying? 100 million Americans, thick haze from roughly 850 active wildfires in Canada, and dozens of fires in northern Minnesota has drifted as far south as the Carolinas, placing 19 states, interestingly enough, into this warning category. It's not fun. The environmental warnings of air pollution have reached historic highs. Major metropolitan hubs like Detroit, Chicago, Washington, D.C. are ranking as the most polluted cities in the world today. So, the severe air quality varies by region. Health officials are warning, though, the current conditions pose a risk to the general public, not just vulnerable populations, such as states like Michigan and Minnesota. They've reported hazardous air quality, the most severe category on the index, while neighboring Wisconsin, Illinois, and Indiana are experiencing very unhealthy purple alerts. The dense fog of fine particulate matter, known as PM 2.5s, they've cast an ominous gray-yellow haze over the northeastern skies, forcing the cancellation of outdoor events, athletic practices, public gatherings. Everything's on hold. Dangerous air quality has also sparked a political backlash in Washington. Several members of Congress are demanding a swift political diplomatic action. A coalition of lawmakers have already publicly criticized the Canadian government for what they describe as a failure to contain the out-of-control blazes. We blame Canada is true because this is their fault in this instance. Some are even calling for formal sanctions. I'm calling for an invasion. They clearly can't handle their forest fires. I think we need our forest rangers up there to teach them what's what. Environmental experts warn that with the record-breaking heat, dry conditions persisting in the northern forests, these smoke events are becoming more regular summer crises rather than an occasional anomaly. This is like California regular at this point. Meteorologists are predicting that all the heavy smoke will continue to drift eastward and blanket the mid-Atlantic region through into Saturday morning. While an approaching storm system is expected to help wash some of the particulate matter out of the atmosphere by late Saturday, health experts and departments are urging residents to stay indoors, run the air conditioning on circulate, and wear N95 masks if they must go outside. So, I don't know about anybody else, but this is registering to me as either allowed to happen or encouraged.
We begin tonight with breaking news and the dangerous smoke from more than 800 wildfires burning across Canada, now triggering air quality alerts in at least 19 states. Chicago now topping the list of major cities with some of the worst air quality in the world.
Woo.
The skies turning orange. Quality alerts there extended through at least tomorrow.
Yep.
Detroit coming in right behind Chicago, thick smoke blanketing the city today.
Ugh, that looks foul.
Here in New York City, clouds of smoke hanging over the famous skyline. Passenger planes now.
By the way, you would assume that this odor, this city shot of Minneapolis right here, that is actually the smoke, the haze and whatnot. That is not. That is just the odor of the Minneapolisites.
Through the smoke landing at LaGuardia Airport. Pilots in Philadelphia reporting ash sticking to the cockpit windshield. Residents from the Midwest to the Northeast urged to take precautions and limit their time outside. The smoke expected to drift further south tomorrow. ABC's Matt Rivers leads us off.
Rivers.
Tonight, massive plumes of smoke from those fires in Canada choking the upper Midwest and Northeast for a second straight day.
I have asthma, and so I might be a little bit more concerned than other people.
Millions under air quality alerts in at least 19 states.
Yikes.
New York City is handing out free KN95 masks at public libraries like this one and police and fire stations. The smoke, combined with this oppressive heat wave, is a dangerous pairing, especially for those with pre-existing conditions. Chicago recording some of the worst air quality in the world among major cities.
When you get to these burgundy dots, that's hazardous.
A Delta flight capturing the smoke-clogged skies over New York City, the pilot alerting passengers.
Some cues from that luminous smoke that's what we're going through right now. But just want to let you guys know that's the wildfires out west.
At Philadelphia International Airport, the low visibility triggering flight delays. Ash sticking to an American Airlines plane in flight.
Yeah, it's adhering to the windshield. I've never seen it stick to the windshield like this.
Tonight, more than 180 fires ablaze in Ontario, Canada alone. An American visiting the area seeing the inferno up close.
Dude, it looks fucking awesome. I'm gonna be honest with you. Wildfires, they're devastating. I'm sorry if you ever lose your home in it. But fuck, they look really cool from a distance. That's at least, I'm going to be honest with you. What other perspective do you want me to take on it? Do you want me to go, when I'm watching the TV, do you want me to be a miserable son of a bitch? Do you want me to just sit here and go, what am I going to do? I wish I could send money. I wish I could, like, the type of people who hear about bad news and they're like, I can't do anything about it. I don't even want to know about it if I can't. I go, listen, I understand you are acting, you personalize things, so you take it as a mental burden. It's a strain on yourself. It's a very, like, by the way, it's a bit of a selfish reaction to hearing about bad things happening around the world. A lot of people go, I don't even want to hear about it. If it's happening and it's bad and I can't fix it, I just don't want to hear about it whatsoever. That is the emu sticking its head in the sand. It's refusing to acknowledge the world around it for what it is. And I understand. Some emus, they cannot handle the world around them. Some of them cannot understand that this crazy fucking place we live in is real. Like, people go missing. There's trafficking happening every single day. There's people that are just like living in tunnels underneath us. The world around us is scary. Every religion is a major just a trafficking organization for children, women, and adults. Slavery is legal if you really think about it. Like, a lot of these people, they're scared once their eyes are opened to the world. When you talk about how Western medicine isn't this beacon of light that's ready to come in and show them the truth, that Anthony Fauci is not the modern St. Peter, they look at you like you're a fucking retard when they're the retards. They are the ones who cannot handle the truth. They are the fools. And unfortunately, one who cannot handle the truth will never proceed forth into the future. He or she will always be stuck. They will always be lesser than. They will always be the types that will never be able to process, never be able to put forth any meaningful ideas, never be able to wrestle with any sort of cool, grander thoughts. They will remain stagnant. They are the pond that, while though it's peaceful, you know, there's like lily pads growing on it and whatnot, it's filthy. It has algae growing in it. It's stagnant water. It's got mosquitoes being born in it. But I am the raging ocean. I am honestly, it's changing. I acknowledge that shit's always wild. But you know what happens when you have life, when you have intrigue, when you have change, when you have challenging thoughts? You have growth, you have genuine, like, real life, you have fish, you have animals, you have creatures, you have coral reefs. In comparison to this bayou, stagnant, all things stay the same type of stuff. If you want to live in the bayou of Louisiana and you take comfort in the idea of just kind of sitting in that stagnant water, that's fine by you, fine by me. I will be out like Odysseus this Friday, July 17th. I will be Odysseus with my men and women, by the way, who want to join on this vessel, this big ass boat we call your brain on air. I will be there with my men and women, and we will be rowing while all of you ignorant retards sit on the shoreline in your own shit. Well, we are the beacons, the truth seekers, the ones who go out there and challenge our minds and go out there and have interesting thoughts and wrestle with interesting ideas. We will be out there conquering the Lotus Eaters, the defeating Polyphemus. We will be out there trudging forward, creating a path grander than any of you could ever imagine. And meanwhile, the ones who continue to breed in ignorance, the ones who continue to hate on knowledge because of what it listen, they hate knowledge because the shield that they've always taken comfort in, which is the falsities the world has given them, is something they will refuse to ever part with. And it is the true anchor. It is not a comfort blanket. It is an anchor that will drag you into this ocean of life that we claim about. This is the thing that will kill you if you hold on to it. You need to be like us. You need to join us on these seas. You need to be the truth seeker. You need to have open thoughts. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be here on this boat with me, if you want to ride the waves, if you want to fucking talk about all the shit in the Epstein files, if you want to do all this shit, you're in the right place, God damn it. These wildfires are fake.
We're getting out of here. It's a little cool for comfort. Also contributing to the orange haze, at least 9 fires in northern Minnesota. Officials warning some fires could burn for months.
There will be some fire on the ground in some form or fashion, along with smoke, until it snows.
Mary, this hazardous smoke is expected to linger for at least a few more days as it pushes further south toward Virginia and Washington, D.C. Meanwhile, here in New York City, officials continue to hand out free N95 masks just like this one to anyone who wants one. Mary.
Folks, I mean,
take those precautions, Matt. Thank you. That smoke
pretty crazy.
Its way south. So let's get right to ABC senior meteorologist Lee Goldberg.
Dinkelberg, get him off my screen, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even know what else to say. I've been Ollie Vogt Larson. This has been an incredible journey, and guess what? Take this weekend to rest yourselves, because we will be getting back on this boat. Your Brain on Air will be setting sail on Monday. That is when we will be back to cover all of the news that may drop next week, whatever we feel like chatting about, conversating about. Truth for truth's sake, we are the light bringers to the ignorant, ladies and gentlemen. If you'd like to be there, with your host, Ollie Vogt Larson, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, like if you liked it. I have been the host of Your Brain on Air, Ollie Vogt Larson. Folks, to close out, a few parting words. I'd like to thank Harvey Weinstein. Autism isn't real, and Detroit Lakers hate anybody who does not have pure white Aryan blood running through their veins. Good night, everybody. Happy weekend. See you Monday.